Hey, what's up, good people? Welcome back. Stock Up with Larry Jones here. Just pulled over, just thinking about a lot of things. I was going to make a video later. I still may, so stay tuned to this page. For those of you that's in Money Moves, we've been kind of preparing for this, right? And now is the time you need to really pay attention to what's going on. It used to be the Fed, and now it's the White House. Whatever comes out of there right now is moving markets, all right? If you're new to the page, hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell where we tell you the truth, help you to make money, right? Let's go right into all of this wonderful news today. Wonderful news like Apple is seeing its worst week since COVID. Apple stock, all right? Used to be the darling. Everybody had Apple. And if you had Apple, you were winning. And it was the unstoppable stock. Well, it's been getting hammered. Even though the CEA went to the White House to visit the president, it's just been getting hammered. That didn't do any good. The NASDAQ, worst day since 2020, March of 2020. Worst days since COVID. The entire NASDAQ. That's not a stock. It's an entire industry. And the truth be told, it could go down by negative 1,000 points by today. And it's just a lot of bad news. We had a tariff on every country and every moving thing, except most ships, because we're dependent on it, and Russia. Just take note. No tariff on Russia. All right. Bitcoin is down by 6.5%. XRP down by 7.5%. Link down by 11.5%. So goes the market, so goes crypto. S&P down by 4%, and the NASDAQ is down by a whopping 5% today. And it's not looking good, okay? It's not looking good. All right, so China and I believe the EU are starting to ramp up and get ready for their retaliatory measures against these tariffs and their retaliatory tariffs. But we all know that they can only do so much because it is hitting them. They all need us. Now, I'm going to continue to say this. I was for using the tariffs as a bargaining chip. I was for using the tariffs as a bargaining chip as a bargaining chip for us to leverage out these tariffs. I just make it fair. But just like I forestated, it's extremely delicate. And for those of you that just say rip the Band-Aid off, you don't know anything about economy. You don't know nothing about this economy. Absolutely nothing about this economy. And you definitely don't know tariffs, and you don't know global economy. You just don't know that. We can't. It's not, we can't. This is surgery. And you cannot take a sledgehammer when you're doing surgery to something that requires a scalpel. And that's what happened yesterday, right? This is just the facts of our money. So those of you that just go off of a notion or a feeling, just look at if you're about to retire, you're gonna have to keep working. Because this is not good people. All right. So I'm just telling you guys the facts, and that's all I'm ever going to tell you, the facts, regardless of who. All right. So now what do we do? What do we do, Larry? It's just falling apart. I will tell you that I made some purchases, and they were early, and they were in the ETFs. I've been sharing with you guys. Now, I also have dry powder, because of something like this that could have happened. And if you look at the last time we had tariffs this high, because it was too much too quick. Now, I keep telling people that just don't understand, we are going to pay for the tariffs. You're already paying for it. And then if you're in a household and you have 4 to 5 kids, those households could see an increase of upwards of $9,000 a year. We pay the tariffs. Tariffs are so bad till in the 30s, right? 1930s, it helped to lead us into the Great Depression, okay? And we know that the president has been speaking about tariffs for forever, like since the 90s. I saw video clips. And every time he was interviewed, he wanted to go on these tariffs. Now, having a point that America is on the bad end of the deal is one thing, but listening to counsel, which everyone on this earth needs to, economists, every economist, don't listen to this media, they're lying. Don't listen to the extreme right media, they're lying. Don't listen to the extreme left media, they're lying. Every economist knows that tariffs don't work, and especially this harsh, okay? And so now that the tariffs are up, ramped up this much, we are looking, and if they don't pull back, we will for surely go into a recession. For surely go into a recession. You got the S&P and the NASDAQ already in correction. The NASDAQ is closer to a recession than correction, all right? And then you got the S&P in correction territory. So, Larry, you seem upset. You know, I am, because we saw this coming. I've been warning about this, that it was not going to be good for the market, that you and I are going to pay for it. And a lot of you guys know that that's the truth. And so I stand on the truth, okay? So we're just going to keep this straight. We don't, you know, I know a lot of people are going to spend a lot of time in the comment section pointing fingers, but what we need to do is look at the mirror right now, and we need to look at the charts, and we need to look at stocks, and we need to look at what ETF and at what point. So I told the people in Money Moves, I have a percentage where it goes down by 10%, and I stop buying. And then I look at it around 15%. So for instance, NASDAQ was already negative 10%, actually negative 14%, but from the highs, not just year to date, but from the highs. The S&P is now in correction territory. So I buy a little and I wait for it to come all the way down to 15%. And I buy a little more. Then I wait just in case we are heading towards a recession or a recession, all right? If we're heading toward a recession, then I'll start to reposition and making some buys there. And then I sleep good at night, okay? And so you have to be very selective in these times. But what I will tell you is you need to look at PEs, and you need to look at what stock are oversold. What good company that actually make earnings, all right? We got to look. All of the PEs are coming down. Now they're getting chopped. Remember, I kept saying the over hyped stock, the expensive stock, are going to get called to the principal's office, and it's going to say, show me what you're worth. And they're going to open up, and they're going to see the balance sheet, and they're going to see, are you making earnings? And not just are you making earnings. They're going to look at they're going to look at the past. Have you been making earnings? Are you making earnings now? What's the TAM, total addressable market, right? And what are future earnings and future growth looking for? Then it's going to take that, and it's going to look at the P/E, price over earnings, and then see if it's at a fair value. And if that fair value, you look at the entire industry, if that fair value is 20, and then that stock is 30, that stock is coming down more than the rest. Follow? So these are the times to absolutely start to study. For those of you that have Stock Up You, I want you to go back to my chapter, and when I break down how to look for a good and fair stock, I need you to do that, okay? The rest of you that keep following me in Money Moves, I'm going to be coming to you. I made a video last night, and then I made a post this morning that I wasn't buying right at opening bell, because we have to see what these other leaders are going to do in their retaliatory tariffs or retaliatory measures, because the market still may not like that, and or the sitting president may come out with even more steep tariffs, because there was word coming out of the White House, and he said it himself, he's not concerned with the stock market, right? But This is not just negative for the stock market, but it's negative for the economy because we get jobs tomorrow. And when we get jobs, here's what may happen. If jobs are starting to soften, especially because of all of the Doge layoffs, which we all know there's a lot of fat in the government, but the way you go about it, I didn't like the way they went about it. That's all I'm saying. I didn't say I'm against it. I just say there's a better way, just like these tariffs. There was a better way. Even if he was using this as a bargaining chip, the market would have absorbed it better had he moved it out. Okay, this percentage for the first 6 months, this percentage to the second 6 months, because the truth be told, for a lot of these manufacturers, you need a minimum of 2 years for them to offshore, or should I say onshore, their production here. And so any economist will tell you that you got to know the facts before you take a sledgehammer and do brain surgery, okay? There's times when you need to simply use a scalpel and not a sledgehammer. And these are the facts. Listen to any economist. And I did well in my econ class, okay? I didn't go to a prestigious university, but I understand what tariffs do, and I understand that this world economy is far more complex than how we just simplify it and just say, oh, rip the Band-Aid off. Please do study, good people, all right? Because it's going to affect you, even you that made the comment and you really don't understand it. And I'm saying this in love and respect. I want you to look abroad, search for yourself. Don't wait to be fed by any media or any person, and you will clearly see what's happening and what we are headed for, so you could make a conscious decision based on your money, your finance, and this entire economy. All right, I'll see you later today probably. Okay, I just couldn't leave you guys hanging today. All right, even though I got some stuff I'm taking care of, couldn't leave you hanging today. All right, check out the links below. We'll see you later. Live, love, laugh, and learn.